Welcome to another episode of Little Talks, your weekly dose of marketing news and insights from Littlefield Agency.
Welcome back to another edition of Little Talks with Littlefield Agency. I'm Sam Littlefield, and with me is... Roop, there he is. Yep. Happy Monday, my friend.
Yeah.
It is Monday. We're actually recording early. This is a fun week. I jet out tomorrow for Equip Expo with Grasshopper Mowers.
Yeah.
So I'll be with Trent and Mike and the team. We get in tomorrow evening, a full day Wednesday, and then we're headed out. So it's a quick trip, but Louisville weather's looking amazing. I've never been to a trade show with Grasshopper, so I'm super pumped to be with them.
Oh, you know about the mascot suit you have to wear, right?
Oh, bring it on.
Okay.
You know I would happily do that.
Yeah, I feel like you would really enjoy it the most.
I wish they'd have Chelsea be in that thing. I actually think she'd be great. She's tiny. She can just kind of go run around all day.
I think you would need two Chelseas stacked on top of each other to do the,
Yeah, I'm wondering if I'm going to see this in person. I'd be happy. I mean, I'm a team player, baby. Whatever they tell me to do, I'm going to do it.
You're in.
I'm in.
Do we have another client going to that as well?
Ditch Witch is going to. So we're going with Grasshopper. Brandon is actually going to go for, what, about a day? Yeah, so he's got a quick trip. He's filming some content for Ditch Witch, which will be awesome. So we've got two great clients there. The weather in Louisville is looking incredible. Fall is here in Tulsa, frickin' finally. Oh my God. Unbelievable. I'm so ready for this. I woke up this morning. Roop has a new jacket. Tell him where it's from.
It's from Gearhead, which is a really, really cool place at Utica Square.
Great boutique shop in Utica Square, Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Not a sponsored mention.
No, they're not
a
sponsored.
Sponsored mention.
Olive, forest green.
Little brown in there.
Little brown in there. Oh, no. I'm thinking of my jacket. It is very brown. Really, no green in there. Jeez, what a mess. Anyway, it's jacket season. It's vest season. Vest weather is best weather.
I've been waiting on it.
It's just good. So, yes, we got that. It is actually Courtney Roberts' birthday today. Happy birthday. All right. We have Julie Evans' birthday tomorrow as well. So we got a double happy birthday, which is great. Thank you, Claude.
Welcome.
And then we have a huge change. If you're watching the video segment of this, you can actually see Claude.
Claude Cam.
Hello.
We got the Claude Cam. And it's hilarious because it's literally like 2 feet from her face at a very heightened angle.
Is it a bad angle?
It's a great angle.
Is it really?
It's fabulous. No, I can literally see the angle right here. It looks great.
It's great.
It's an iPhone.
Was it Trent's idea?
Yeah.
It's actually Trent's idea to like give her, he's like, hey man, give her some credit. She's here, she's working. Mm-hmm. And so you're gonna get some glimpses of Claude. So that will be wonderful. It's kind of like Bear in College Game Day. Remember Bear, like off to the side? He was like one of the producers.
Baba Booey.
Baba Booey.
Yeah, dude, wasn't he always sitting in the booth? And
Yeah, I haven't seen him this season though, but
is he still on there? I don't know.
Maybe something happened. Anyway, Claude, it's nice to see you.
Thank you.
And it is good to be here in mid-October. We are going to continue our conversation with all things post-inbound debrief. We went to numerous sessions. As you all have heard for a couple of our episodes, we did a 30,000-foot view, just Roop and myself. Then we had Joy kind of dive into some of her favorite sessions. I actually really enjoyed that podcast. Last week, we talked all things 2025 planning. You all are in the thick of it. We totally understand that. We actually had some great engagement from prospective clients on that podcast episode. So today we go into actually specific content takeaways from inbound. And we're going to focus on one topic today, Claude. And we are calling this, how are you, in your B2B realm, meeting your next customers on TikTok, baby?
TikTok.
Build TikTok.
Yeah, this was a fun session, and it was kind of unexpected.
And it was you and me and Sean Hubbard were in this session.
Sean was way behind us somewhere, I think. Yeah. Do you remember the lady's name that gave this one?
Yeah, I want to get Dawn Dawson.
Yeah.
Dawn's the CMO of Mortgage Solutions Financial. She's actually been there for 25 years. Just shy of 25 years.
We accidentally took a photo with her like 2 days later, I think.
Will you tell that story? No, it was the same day.
Oh, it was the same day?
Will you tell that story? This was crazy. So we watched Dawn on stage. We'll get into her takeaways, but she was great.
You want me to say what happened at lunch?
No, I just want you to tell them. We had a couple drinks, and then we went back into the session. Just took a little break.
Little break. They have a kind of a different photo opportunities all around inbound, where you can kind of do some different stuff.
And there's one really cool, literally as you walk into the convention center, and it's just like cool, like this is the HubSpot logo.
It's like a tunnel.
Right, circle tunnel, and there's all these fun lights. Anyway, we see this lady who's trying to take a selfie by herself. I was like, Roop, like, that's the TikTok lady from this morning. And sure enough, it was Dawn Dawson.
Yeah.
So we got to meet her and introduce ourselves. Dawn and I connected on LinkedIn. So Dawn, this is we'll for sure tag you on LinkedIn. And but she did a really nice session. I want to give her credit before you get into some of these points, Roop. So
Before we steal her content. Dawn started really dabbling in TikTok for her company, Mortgage Solutions Financial, in the heart of the pandemic. Think about it. Mortgage Solutions Financial, a conservative financial firm. And during the pandemic, wild time for all things mortgages because of interest rates. And Dawn convinced her exec team and I believe the board to take a chance and let her have some fun on TikTok. And she, this was very much when TikTok was silly dance videos. Yeah.
Right.
And I think brands that were on there were selling shoes or subscription services or whatever. It wasn't some place you thought about a B2B or financial.
Yeah, for many brands. And it was just so experimental at that point. Dawn took a risk and it really paid off. I actually went down to, if you go to their TikTok channel, following their company, their early videos, we're talking 100, 200 views, and then boom, 1 million.
Yeah. They
2 million.
turned it on.
Really, really cool. So we're going to walk you through these points, but Dawn's biggest takeaway initially was, hey, you got to experiment and you got to take a risk, and it may not seem like the right fit for your brand, but your customers are on TikTok. They're digesting content. So Ruth, let's talk through some of our pointers today.
Specifically, your next customer is on TikTok. So she's, I think in that financial space, they're always looking for people coming into their service needs. And one of the things that I think a lot of us think about on TikTok is it's all young people. The average age on TikTok in 2024 going into 2025 is 30 years old. That's not...
Which that actually really surprised me.
Yeah, that's the average
I thought it was going to
age,
be quite a bit younger.
which means you got a bunch of younger and a bunch of older, and that's in the middle. So like that was kind of impressive.
User engagement's very high.
Engagement's really high, and I bulleted some notes from her here. But one of the things that really resonated for me, these top 3 notes, was that when you fail on TikTok, advertising, when you're spending money to promote your videos on TikTok and you fail, it's usually from repurposing content from other platforms. And this ends up kind of being true even for organic posts,
Across
right?
the board, absolutely.
Creating specifically for TikTok is the need, and it takes work. It's a lot more work than a Facebook post where you're slapping up a photo and a caption and calling it a day. Claudia knows this. She does TikTok for us. Claudia, it's a lot of work, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it is a lot of work.
Well,
Right.
and
That's the right answer.
Just because, I mean, Claude, can you walk us? You want to be on trend. It's got to be good. Can't be too polished, right? Like you're thinking
Yeah.
through all sorts of ways that are going to get us out there, right?
Yeah. And like, I feel like the ones that I plan the most and do the most editing do the worst, which is so annoying. Like the most spontaneous
Yeah.
ones do the best, and the ones that I like really take my time on are the worst.
How many
ones.
views did we get on that one video?
I think it was like 70,000 or something.
I think it's 92, I think.
92,000.
It goes
pretty
up
high.
every once in a
Yeah.
while.
It was give Brandon credit. It was his idea. Claude and the interns went and executed it very quick, very raw, very just fun. And one of you texted me like, dude, holy smokes, this is actually taking off. And then it really took off. And again, that you were thoughtful in it. The concept was there.
Yeah.
The execution was quick and just did your thing, and it obviously resonated with people.
And that leads to the next 2 bullet points here.
Yeah.
Your best successes live inside your company, whether you're B2B or B2C. So if you're trying to create content for your brand, you want to find the company hero, the person that likes creating content and is familiar with the platform and is not afraid to fail and is willing to experiment and find those things. You find your company heroes, you feature them, you let them run that channel, and that's where you start to see the needle move a little bit. So, I'm a 51-year-old man. I certainly enjoy creating TikToks, but my aesthetic is not going to be the same as Claudia and the interns were, and that's where we started seeing some traction there.
Well, and if you think about it, okay, you're like, all right, Sam and Roop, meeting our next customers on TikTok. Like, are they actually buying from us on TikTok? Probably not. It's very much an impression. We're thinking that we use this as an awareness standpoint, and there's 2 things I want to hit on here. The first being, you need to start at least dabbling in the paid space. We're not saying throw $1 million towards a TikTok buy, but just seeing what's working, what's not working. There's a huge organic play. Obviously, that's how TikTok works. That's how people become famous, because they're identifying fun opportunities that you may not get elsewhere on other platforms.
Real quick, if you have $1 million budget you want to throw at TikTok, though, you can give us a call.
Yeah. Culture,
We'll
yeah.
absolutely help with that.
Get a Chipotle name status there. That'd be amazing. But the big thing is, and I've noticed this with Tara a lot lately. She made a fabulous herbed potato salad yesterday. Where did she get her recipe from? TikTok.
The talk.
She's not going to Google anymore. And I remember doing that all the time. She is going straight to TikTok. So for you as a brand, and think about organic and paid. Obviously, paid's a different strategy, but on the organic front, your customers want to be educated.
Yeah, and we've talked about this a lot.
And entertained.
And that's primarily why people are on social media.
Yeah.
They're not there to be sold to. They want to be entertained. And if you're a brand that can entertain them, that's how you kind of get in. But we've talked a lot about that in the past. Just to recoup it is a recoup. From those episodes, TikTok is a search engine. And there is a whole generation under 35 that's absolutely how it gets used.
Dude,
they're looking
wild.
for recipes. They're looking for recommendations on clothes. They're looking for financial services, apparently.
I follow, I mean, for any, and I know that we have quite a few, financial institutions as clients, and we are talking to some prospective customers. There's a massive opportunity.
Yeah.
I follow so many people on the wealth management space.
Yeah, and
How are you organizing your wealth, and what is your strategy, and what should you be doing with your kids? That stuff is very interesting to me.
And that was one of her points here was boring B2B or financial products, her words, not ours, can actually thrive on TikTok because of the openness of the creative palette there. You just have fun with it. You can stand out by being different there, right?
Totally.
So like that was something that kind of stood out to me. And one of the ways she mentioned, it's not just in the videos, like the content you're creating needs to be fun if you want to get attention and leverage that. But she was talking about like even when you stay on the platform to create like a lead gen form, and you need to stay on the platform, trying to lure people off to your website, the platform doesn't really enjoy that, and it turns out the audience doesn't either. But she said, have some fun with those forums. If you're on TikTok where it's a fun vibe anyhow, add some fun questions to your form. So if you're asking for a name, an email address, and a zip code, sure. Then ask what's your, who's your favorite cartoon character?
Yeah, that's interesting.
Or what's your favorite color? Or just some dumb fun question that's kind of unexpected.
That'd be kind of crazy.
That adds to it. Yeah.
From a persona standpoint, could create some really interesting. Like you're getting that data. It's going into your CRM.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden you see a consistent theme of what's your favorite whiskey? Buffalo Trace.
Right.
Like, oh wow,
We maybe
the
make
last
some content
15
on that.
submission. I mean, that's interesting, Roop. I like that.
Wait, now you have just segued into the next point.
Wow,
You're
what a
killing
guy.
it today.
What a guy.
It's the shirt.
It's the shirt.
It's the shirt.
If you're not watching, my wife bought me a new shirt for my birthday was last week, and I feel pretty cool.
Very jealous of it.
Yeah. Even Claude approves, and that's big.
What'd you just say, the segue?
I don't know. You tell me. What are we segueing into?
It was persona.
Persona work and learning.
CRM.
Yeah. So one of the things she had
Claude.
mentioned was creating your content based off of user comments. So when you're getting information from
Fabulous
the
point.
users, whether through that lead gen form as just pure data, or even just someone says something clever or questions something in a comment. We actually had this, right? We had the name. I think that was our big one, right?
That was the name.
The big 100,000.
Our agency nicknames.
Yeah, we did agency nicknames, and Sarah that you had given people, and Sarah's was just Sarah.
Mm-hmm.
And,
By the way, she has a new nickname. It's Ra.
oh, it's Raw.
Ra.
What?
I got targeted on TikTok, and I was like, if you know someone named Sarah, here's 10 nicknames. I was like, jeez.
And we had to create that. We had to create that follow up TikTok because someone in the comments was like, "What does Sam have against Sarah?"
Yeah, which, by the way, we all freaking love Sarah.
Yeah, she's like the most
The prized employee.
Yes.
here.
She is. So that one comment leveraged more content for us that was still fun and played with the
And we
concept.
actually turned a comment into a post, to your
Yeah.
point here. I mean,
Yeah.
it's good content. Now, did we get as much engagement as our first? No.
We got a little bit.
We got a little bit for sure.
Quite a bit,
But it's
really.
also showing your customers and prospective customers you're paying attention, you're listening, right? Like you're in the know. And you have a limited amount of time. What if we went away and we didn't see that comment for a week? Lost.
Yeah, you got to pay attention.
So quick. I mean, it really is.
And this is my last one I want to point out here
Yeah.
that she had mentioned, and I liked hearing it because it's something I've always kind of thought and preached. So I always like being, right. You can edit that if you want, Brandon.
No, keep it in
No,
there.
keep it? Okay. My wife's going to hate that one. She had mentioned diving in and getting a history on the platform.
Yes.
You need to be there a while before the wheels will start moving. And that really resonated with me. You can't just turn on your channel, make your first post, and expect to have massive success. You have to be present and you have to establish a history, and you have to pay attention to what people are doing in your space or your audience is doing in that space before you can really start to build on it.
And it is such a, I mean, I think this is translatable to anything in marketing,
yes,
right?
100%.
Like, and you as a CMO or a director of marketing manager, you're in this position where, something doesn't perform and you took this, quote unquote risk. And like everyone comes, well, guys, what the heck? That's okay. It's part of the process.
Yeah. 100%.
You're going to fail, and that's not a horrible thing. You're going to learn some good things from that, but you got to keep with it. We've learned that not the hard way, but just and everything that we've done as an agency over the last year to 2 years takes a lot of effort and a lot of time.
This podcast didn't start great.
No,
a couple times.
No, not at all. I mean, no, it's all good.
Yeah,
thank God. Which is interesting. Your last point is don't be afraid to fail.
Yeah, it was her last point was don't be afraid to fail. And again, true across the board for really anything, but in particular on TikTok, where your buy-in at your brand may be kind of tough, like getting other people in your company to say, yeah, TikTok's something we should invest in or spend time with. You really do have to not be afraid to fail, get that buy-in. And
you're going to get some pushback.
But in the end, you can make it work.
And we mentioned this last 2 weeks ago. Neil Patel brought up, he's like, hey, like you're going to try and fail on all sorts of different things. Give it a shot on X, test some things. But it's this ever evolving world that we're living in, and it's okay. You're gonna learn some good things.
I'd say behind all the AI stuff we talked about at Inbound, and there was a lot. Don't be afraid to fail was probably the second most common thread I saw across different sessions.
A lot of brands, I saw something recently. It was like someone messed up an email and they resent, hey, sorry for the mistake. And people will take that so seriously, and I get it, that's your job. Your users aren't super concerned. You're not going to lose a customer.
No.
Especially in the B2B world.
And honestly,
so have some fun with it. Entertain.
Have fun. Own mistakes.
Yes.
That's what makes you human to other humans as a brand, right?
Totally.
It kind of helps.
That's a very, very human. I love it, Roop. So there we have it. Don Dawson, thank you. We will absolutely give you a shout out on LinkedIn. We enjoyed the session.
Yeah.
We enjoyed that afternoon, and the fact that we got to meet you was fabulous.
Yeah.
Right?
Loved it.
Love it. So speaking of TikTok, I'll probably come back with some good content from Equip Expo for you guys.
Oh, yeah. That's nice.
Do something fun. Do something crazy. Right?
Yeah, and it's just consistency.
Yeah.
Consistently crazy?
Consistently crazy.
Okay.
So happy middle of October. We wish you all a wonderful week. If you're going to Equip Expo, let us know. I'd love to come by, say hi, check out your equipment.
Sam will buy you a cup of coffee.
I'll buy you a cup of coffee. Happy to. Really. Amazing. Roop loves to spend my money. On that note, my friend, it's always a pleasure. I do love you. Claude, thank you.
Too.
And we'll see you next time.
Adios.
Bye.
And that's a wrap. We hope you've enjoyed our little chat and found ways to grow your own marketing strategies. Remember to subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts and follow us on social media @Littlefield Agency.